Epstein Economics and Human Free Will. Today, we are going to explain the method to damage and/or destroy individual human free will. The Epstein files have been in the spotlight for some time. There are many reports of abuses, many of a very disturbing nature. These methods are ways to kill one's empathy, the ability to engage in the emergent energy of love, thus collapsing the evaluate to balance and denying the identification of any moral social equations. In a general sense, the Epstein files does document the underground economics and their activities and lifestyles. However, this presentation isn't about making claims on any specific revelations linked to any Epstein file. Rather, on how any group of people behind the Epstein Economy, be them Baal, Satanic societies, or cult-inspired economic superiority groups, would need to kill human free will to survive and grow in their debauchery. If we take what is in the Epstein-related headlines currently during the making of this video and apply it to Seryla Philosophy, we can see how these groups use methods, which are ways to keep people from accessing their human free will, thus denying access to their own living self. Manipulation and coercion always attacks human free will. It has to. If human free will is denied or rendered inaccessible, the manipulators can turn people into actors to feed the dark hidden will of these people who are filled with individual self-declared superiority. So, what is it that the evildoers or the criminal manipulators want to accomplish? The key to human free will is the emergent state of love. Therefore, for sociopathic systems, like Epstein Economics and political desire for authoritarian control, they require denying that state of love to emerge or to be accessed. Now, without being able to place love into the evaluate to balance, no moral positions can ever be seen by these folks. Think about that. No moral position can be seen. Here you have people with denied human free will, whom are not working against themselves, but are actually open sources for manipulation. Manipulation by sociopathy and coercion. Now, for power and authority to maintain power and authority over people, they need either to create a denied human free will or to kill people's ability to emerge into human free will. This need to deny or destroy the ability to reach human free will applies not only to the population at large, but to themselves as well. After all, if the extreme elites develop empathy, well, that is a threat to their wealth, position, power, and authority. This later statement relates to the Epstein Economics, that is, their need to kill their own human free will, as odd as that may sound. Therefore, human sacrifices, raping and killing children, scaring them to drain their blood for consumption, incest, sexual perversions, making children fight in cages to the death, eating human flesh, all of these activities, though criminal activities, are done for themselves. They need to transform themselves into sociopaths. Also, they need to transform their children into sociopaths. Otherwise, they could lose their wealth and position to others within one generation. Generational wealth needs a specific environment to survive long term. All it takes is the first generation of extreme wealth, say the father, mother, or both, to start the cycle. After that, each generational's experience views it as normal life, since that was propagated upon them since birth. Once a few generations are out, inbreeding between themselves becomes a way to preserve the bloodline, which adds to the already empathy-killing rituals taking place. Now, this is a broadband statement. Narrowband exceptions may occur. And, for clarity, we are referring to high-level generational wealth. Through previous episodes, we have talked about the denied human free will. This involves the development of an adhesive frame reference and/or the trigger of reactive existence inappropriately to the needed evaluation to moral evaluate to balance. More specifically, not allowing the incoming physical existence to flow through the emergent energy of love. Today, we are going to explain the method structure to damage and/or destroy individual free will that we find in the Epstein files. Now, there are subtle ways as well as direct ways. In the Epstein Economics world, the methods are direct. It attempts to bypass the need to create an adhesive frame reference. After all, that takes time and long-term effort. An example would be corporate-owned media stations that hires talking heads to push narratives. This is vastly used on the regular population. But this does take time to impregnate ideas into people to slowly create an adhesive frame reference within them. In fact, adhesive frame references can be created such that conflicting ideologies are created, and the emergent energy of love is distorted by the adhesive frame reference to create conflict at the common people's level as a way of control. However, for those involved in the arena of Epstein Economics, they need quick and direct ways to kill human free will, specifically to kill the ability to rise up the emergent energy of love and perceive moral positions. Let me say it in another way. When people partake in ritualistic behaviors, be them formal or in forms of elitist parties engaging in debauchery, this is an attempt to take in physical realities around you and enter that into your thought-existent events with the purpose of short-circuiting or killing the emergent energy of love. Now, the methods vary, and the outcomes vary as well. All these methods vary in intensity and darkness. However, violating children, scaring and drinking their blood, turning children and adults into food strips, and more, they all attack the mechanism of emergent energy of love, and, well, various outcomes occur. For some, it may kill reactive existence completely. This means all emotions, including love, is eliminated. And for some others, it may replace the emergent energy of love with apprehension, or fear colored with excitement, or dopamine hits of calm pleasure. Once the emergent energy of love is violated, the painful self-evaluation of the reality of the act, it works to suppress any attempts of the love energy to emerge and may destroy it completely. In this case, the negative force of painful self-recognition of transgression repels the positive force of love to the point that it may repel with force that it damages it. One way to think of it is like two magnets repelling each other. It pushes away any self-evaluation and correction. In early moments, reactive existence may respond with fear, anxiety, apprehension, or more, but engaging in an immoral act allows the thought energy to enter and burn out your ability to emerge love. It may take out fear and anxiety and other emotions to various degrees, but it targets your ability to emerge love. Once the emergent energy of love is destroyed, damaged, or covered, access to social moral equations, or to put it another way, the ability to see physical structures behind morality, you can lose your ability to act in moral ways. Or to put it differently again, allows immorality to be injected and accepted as moral perception isn't available or capable of being emerged. Remember, morality is an enemy to addictive power and wealth. The Epstein Economy social equation is that their E is greater than your E. That is, E is greater than E. This violates physical reality. Any social systems needed to maintain such addictive and wealth obsession, that is, their E is greater than your E, will always create an Epstein economy. Communism creates its own form of Epstein economy as well. It is an extreme ideology of acknowledging only one of two Seryla philosophy equations. For communism, it is E equals E, applying equality to all physical aspects of human condition. By denying individualism, people with issues to be able to emerge love within themselves will capture the E equals E equation, place themselves above as authority under the guise of being individually better to apply the equality over the masses. Quite ironic. Capitalism as well is an extreme ideology, as it is the difference equals equality plus or minus the inequality, that is D equals E plus or minus U equation, thus applying individuality to all physical aspects of human condition. Our physical reality is that we have an equality and individuality concurring together. Allow me to add one other element, free enterprise, as free enterprise for me is not the same as capitalism. In my young days, it appeared to me that having economically regular people having access to money to build a business was working. However, perhaps free enterprise always leads to capitalism and the destruction of any understanding of the equality between us. Perhaps that is my awkward way of saying this. We still have not understood our physical realities such that we can bring to development our correct social and moral positions, let alone develop a moral social civilization. The question becomes, what do we need to do to find our correct social and moral equations? What structure would a socially moral civilization undertake? In my opinion, it doesn't come from one or two individuals. Rather, a large percentage of the population that is capable of engaging in human free will that will emerge the building blocks to a moral, social, human society. In this day and age of technology, it is painfully obvious that our old and ancient theological writings from thousands of years ago, made under the political climate of that time, is not only irrelevant to today's needs, but actually contributes to the blend of continuous religious and economic wars based upon trillions and trillions of ping-pong balls bouncing thoughts, and not based upon physical realities, but propagated out of old books written by socially challenged people.
It says plainly, in the 7th month.
How can you claim the 3rd?
Because the scroll of Eli offers a different counting.
You ignore the order of the moons.
Our moral social systems today is like a growth of one cell, mutated beyond any recognition.
I am the right way, not them!
It is time to reset. And it is time to build a new, physically based, socially moral system. This ends this episode of Seryla Philosophy. If you have subscribed, thank you. If you have not, please do. And remember to hit that bell.
Be seeing you.